Hey guys, welcome to the CEC podcast. I believe we're on episode number 5. My name is Walker Cheatham.
EJ Flemming.
Yeah, I don't even think I need to actually point to it. You need to scoot over just a little bit. You're out of frame.
I'm out of frame a bit. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. So this is the podcast, episode number 5. Yeah, last week we tried out something new, and basically now we're just going to try to talk about stories that interest us, news stories particularly, that we found interesting throughout the week. There's a lot of interesting stories, particularly one that we're not going to go talk about, but I felt like we should at least mention.
Yeah.
That Donald Trump and
North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea. That's an interesting story, but that one probably would. We just don't want to go into that kind of discussion.
Nah.
I'm not well versed in the political
and I just don't want to go down that road because I may say something I may regret. Yeah. And I'm going to need to be employed later.
Yeah. And we both have jobs, and we don't want to go through that much controversy.
No.
No. So, but we do.
There is something interesting to still talk about that'll keep us employed and have a lot to discuss.
Yes, and that is the Comcast bid for 21st Century Fox. They're trying to outbid Disney right now, in an all-cash bid of $65 million plus
$65 billion.
$65 billion. Sorry, $65 billion plus. I think there's some extra
incentives in there somewhere
attached to that. On top of that, I think it brings it over to like 70 something. It's insane.
Yeah, but I think me and you are in agreement of this. Comcast just needs to bugger off.
Yes. I'm one of those people that loves the Marvel movies enough, and to say that they need to have, at the very least, get these Marvel characters.
Yeah, they could. If Comcast could get everything, Comcast could take everything else except.
It would fit better with Comcast as far as the rest of those properties.
Yeah.
Even though I'd love to see what Disney can do, as far as like with.
But I think a reason why I think Disney's fighting hard for those rights, because Avatar comes with it.
Yeah.
And they just opened up that whole Avatar thing.
That's the one thing that never made sense to me, was why Disney even did the Avatar thing.
Because it makes them money.
I mean, it makes them money, but they never owned Avatar.
Well, why does Universal Studios have a Harry Potter wing? They don't own. That's a Warner Brothers property.
True. I forgot that the Harry Potter was at the Universal. I thought that was a Disney thing too.
Nope.
Nope, man.
So it's not so much that it belongs to you. It's just the fact that
they can do it.
They can do it. They're paying them to use it. So I think by them buying the 20th Century rights like that, who they have to pay for the rights at this point? They own it.
Yeah, no more licensing fees.
Nope. they just stack the money because they own the license.
I'm curious, yeah. But yeah, just the creative part of it. Just them being able to own the X-Men and Deadpool and all everything, pretty much everything except for the stuff that Sony has left right now,
which is Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just Spider-Man and everything attached to it.
Spider-Man, and I think that's it. I don't think they got no one else. Spider-Man and all the heroes and villains that come with him.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd rather definitely see an X-Men attached to the MCU. It just would be nice. And I know Deadpool kind of likes to be that tie-in between them and the MCU.
Yeah.
However,
whatever
small that connection may be.
Yeah, it's a very thin connection, but it's there.
Yeah, just enough to be legal.
Yeah, just enough so the mouse ain't kicking the door in. Because the mouse knows how to kick a door in. That's why his shoes are so big. That's a door kicking shoe. And he wears white gloves so he doesn't leave evidence. Yeah. Don't let him trick you.
Yeah. So an all cash offer for $35 per share, which totals approximately $65 billion. Oof. The move is likely to trigger an intense battle between Comcast and Disney at 21st Century Fox and the Murdoch Empire way, which is the better option. Fox's board of directors is scheduled to vote on the Disney deal on July 10th.
In all honesty, I want Disney to get it.
Yeah.
Because I can't just see, because just like this poster behind me, 20th Century Fox owns the right to this movie forever. Regardless of what Disney does with the Star Wars thing, A New Hope will always be 20th Century Fox's movie.
Right.
By buying 20th Century Fox, they own everything Star Wars related, including the original cuts now.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we could actually get that non-CGI version of Star Wars we've all been looking for.
Shoot, what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, back when I lived in Tennessee, I had Comcast as a cable company, and that was whenever I had first experienced the backlash that Comcast has always been number one for worst in customer service, and right now they are, as somebody that's not necessarily their customer, but as somebody looking at their company from the outside, it's making me very upset that they're interfering with what could be a really cool deal with Disney and Fox.
Yeah.
So they're continuing their streak of not caring what people think of them.
Giving people what they want, yes. Doing what they want to do.
As everyone, if you don't know, Comcast owns Universal,
NBC,
and pretty much that's it. I mean, that's it for the big companies that I can think of.
Yeah, and they own NBC Universal pretty much.
Yeah.
So that comes with like your USA channel, your NBC channel, Bravo, and I think Bravo. I'm not sure.
I think you're right about Bravo. I think it's Bravo.
Well, anyway, they own a lot of stuff, a lot of television related stuff. Not much movie stuff.
No. Why don't they just buy Paramount or something like that? I wouldn't mind them owning Paramount, but Paramount, I think, is Viacom.
Yeah. I would rather them buy anything else except the 20th Century Fox.
I actually wouldn't have minded them outbidding AT&T and buying Warner Brothers. That wouldn't have been a bad deal.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad deal, actually. But then it would be in the same boat of a telecommunications company buying another telecommunications company.
Comcast owning
Time
Warner.
It would just been more of a lateral.
Yeah. But, yeah, because technically Fox is not
a telecommunications company. Neither is Disney.
Nope. So,
and the assets that 20th Century Fox wants, the assets of 20th Century Fox that Disney wants, aren't the telecommunication side of things. They don't want the news channel.
And isn't the Marvel deal with Fox very specific? Is that wouldn't it be like non-transferable? Isn't that a case? Wouldn't that mean that?
I've read somewhere. I keep reading somewhere that it's a possibility that if Comcast does buy it, the Marvel rights would revert back to Disney anyway.
Yeah, because I wouldn't believe that they'd be able to sell them out like that, because they're just basically have a very specific deal. Like they could, like Fox couldn't make an X-Men comic book if they wanted to. They have the rights to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that somewhere in that contract that it's not a transferable thing. So if they did, I would think that maybe I have to look that up though. I'm pretty sure that if Comcast were to buy or outbid them anyways, that those rights would go back. Fantastic Four, X-Men, Deadpool would go back to Marvel anyways.
Yeah, when you say X-Men, that includes Deadpool.
True. Yeah. I just like to say Deadpool.
Yeah.
But people, it's better for our ratings.
Yeah.
Make sure we
mention Deadpool because he's hot right now. So say his name. He brings people. Yeah, but I want Disney to get it. Disney just needs to just throw more money at the situation to make Comcast retreat back in their hidey hole.
Yeah. Let's make sure Fox's Marvel non-transferable.
Because I think the deal is that if you don't have a movie at least in production every 7 years, the rights revert back. That's why Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four came out like that. Well, guys, the rights are running out, and we don't want to lose them. So, everybody, come quick! We got to make a Fantastic Four movie. Oh, it actually made money. We'll make a sequel. Oh, it made less money. Time to put it back on the shelf again. No. Oh no, the rights are coming up again. No. Josh Trank, get in here and make us a Fantastic Four movie. And
here's how it works.
Okay.
If Fox were being sold to another studio company like Disney or Sony, then Fox would cease to exist, thus making the Marvel rights go back to Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
If it sells to a company like Comcast, then Fox would still exist if Comcast owns it. Thus, meaning that
the rights
they
would
would keep the rights. So if Fox no longer exists, then those would go back. But Comcast plans to, is a different kind of company, so
it plans
still
to exist
under Comcast.
It plans to screw Disney over.
Yeah.
and then make trash Fantastic Four, Fast and Furious spinoff hybrid things.
Deadpool in the Fast and the Furious universe would be interesting. Yeah, the Fast and Furious would need to continue doing more outrageous things like that. So it would not surprise me if
I've also
something like that.
To just throw Deadpool in just to see what happens.
Yeah, so they're always trying to outdo themselves, even though this Hobbs movie, what's it called? Hobbs or whatever, the one with Rock and
Jason Statham
being directed by David Leitch is going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man. But I'm curious about how like on the television side, being that like with the Last Man Standing, how ABC pulled it off and it's going to Fox now. So if Disney ends up buying Fox, when they technically own that show again.
No, because the way they're talking about it, they're not going to buy the channel.
Oh.
The Fox channel, they're buying their deal is more about the library kind of thing, more so than the other stuff. Like they will rebrand the channel New Fox.
Right.
But they don't want the channel stuff. They want this kind of stuff, the movies.
Right. Well, yeah, I know they were getting their television, or a lot of the television division, I guess, and
they're getting the shows like Family Guy and The Simpsons and whatnot, but they're just not getting the physical channel.
Okay. So yeah, the channel will stay with Fox, and the shows. Okay, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean now. Okay, yeah, that was confusing to me because Fox already owned Last Man Standing even when it was on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they would own it again. Now Disney would definitely own it now.
Mm-hmm.
But it would play on the Fox channel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which is still owned by 21st Century Fox.
Whew. Wow, that is
confusing. I know.
Yeah, that just like this whole thing with the studios and the non-transferable thing. I didn't understand that completely until now. But yeah, that's basically it for that part of the. You recently were watching all the E3 stuff, right?
Yes, I was, and I'm actually gonna start a blog series on it.
Really?
Yeah, on my blog.
Tell everybody about your blog.
Oh yeah, I was just sitting around, thinking about ways to do brand exposure and all this and all like that. And I said, hey, why don't I just start a blog? And I've titled it "The Editorial of EJ." I like the way that sounds. Yeah. Instead of just EJ's editorials or something like that, something bland. The editorial of EJ makes it seem like it's like written law when I write something, you know. Right. But in reality, it's just a dude in front of his computer typing stuff. But anyway, I'm going to start adding things to that when I can, starting with my E3 reviews for the big three press conferences, big three events, which is Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. If I have time, which is looking like right now, I barely have time to do this as it is. I may do the Square Enix, the Bethesda ones later, but right now, the big three they are the most important ones to me because the all the other ones did was expand on stuff that we've seen in the other shows.
Right.
Where the big three just condenses all that information down to 1 2 hour show, and I can just break that down a little easier and digest it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because I already got notes done for the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I felt that the Xbox One gave me more, but the PS4 one was a little better.
Yeah.
Because they actually focus more on actual gameplay, more so than just showing me that the game exists.
Yeah, I know some of the stuff that I don't know if this all was at E3. I have no idea what was done at E3. I know that this week we got a new Battlefield trailer.
Yeah, that was at E3.
Okay, and The Last of Us 2.
That was at E3 as well.
Man, okay. So there's a lot of controversy going on with the Battlefield one. What it's all that about?
Oh, because one of the main characters in there is a woman.
Oh. Okay, so isn't that the main character in this one?
One of the main characters.
One of the main characters.
She's a one-armed woman with a prosthetic.
And that upset people.
That upset people because they feel like it's not realistic. like women didn't fight in World War II.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. In a way, they did, yes. Not.
We're not following like an American unit. It's like
right.
She's British.
Okay.
So it's not like she's like an American soldier. It's like she's like, it's by her being British. It's like we didn't know what they did there. They could have fought just as hard as the men. So yeah. I buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't deny they were in some crap, but I don't know about. Well, it could have been.
We don't know.
Really care. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a historian, so.
I'm not a historian
but
either.
I am a fan of good video games with interesting stories, and I know that trailer looked dope.
Yeah. So I'm withholding judgment because it looks interesting, because it's technically not called Battlefield 5. I think it's called Battlefield V.
V? Okay.
Yeah. Everybody's pronouncing it's 5 because I think it might be the 5th mainline Battlefield game. But I think they want you to pronounce it V. Like for victory.
Yeah. And then, but The Last of Us 2, I haven't watched that trailer yet. Was it a gameplay trailer?
It was a cutscene that led in the gameplay.
Okay. So that was one of my favorite games. I'm not a gamer. I've admitted this on the channel before, but I like story games. And Last of Us, I played through within, I think, 2 days. I beat the whole game, and I loved it. It had one of the most interesting stories, and I've been waiting for the movie that's been in and out of development.
And to botch it, I know.
Yeah.
The movie is gonna botch that story bad.
Is it? Well,
because you got to take into account not only is there a time jump, then you got to factor in seasons.
Right.
They're gonna how are you gonna manage both of those in a story that can only be told in the game?
I think it would benefit better to be a Netflix miniseries or a Netflix series because clearly the story can continue.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would probably be better for video game wise, because video games, their stories are
so intricate.
Yeah,
you can't just trim them down to 2 hours.
Yeah, it's world. There's so much world building in a video game. It's so hard to. Yeah,
it's most times to get to the main plot of the game takes about 2 hours.
Right.
That's just getting to tutorial and setting up who all the key players are.
Yeah, so I think to do Last of Us any justice, it probably should be a 7 or 8 episode TV series, and then continue on however they got to do it. How most TV shows do it, they beat it till it
beat it to death.
Beat it to death. Unless you do it right, like a Breaking Bad, and end when people least expect it, or when it needs to end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I never gave out what the web address to my blog is.
Oh, what is that?
It's the editorial of EJ.blogspot.com.
Blogspot.
Mm-hmm.
No WordPress or anything.
No. Blogger was the first one that came to my mind, and that's the one I signed up with. Because it has Google integration, so
that's good.
Actually, because it's owned by Google, so it made it easier to use my Google information to set up an account. I just imported it over. I just clicked in, signed in, and said, "Want to make one?" I said, "Okay." The editorial of EJ is born. Done.
that should be interesting. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for things on your editorial blog.
But back to E3.
Yes.
They actually showed that Cyberpunk 2077. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to play that game.
You showed me the trailer for that before we did our Movie Champs episode. And I said it looked like a really cool, it had like a throwback feel with the modern day aesthetics.
Yeah, as I said, this is the closest we're going to get to a Blade Runner game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It had the 80s sci-fi mixed in with the modern day aesthetics of how video games are created today.
Yeah.
So it kind of even had a little bit of a Ready Player One vibe because the Ready Player One's already has the throwback feel to it. Anyway.
Yeah, I can see why you say Ready Player One. It did feel very Oasis-like.
Yes, which I'm still waiting for a Ready Player One game. That'd be so awesome.
There technically is a arcade inspired by Ready Player One available for VR.
Really? Huh. I have to check that one out. And Fortnite waited till E3 to release their game for the Switch. Not a Fortnite fan. Definitely not.
I'm not a Fortnite fan either, but for a chance at 100 million, I can become one.
Yeah. And for a chance of probably doing pretty well on our channel, I would be a fan of Fortnite too. If it got us a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, we just pimp ourselves out to Fortnite. Take us.
Have you seen? There's like there's some big YouTubers, like I think it's the Abe or AB family or something like that. They've completely sold themselves out to Fortnite. Every other video is something Fortnite related. I don't know if they're actually getting paid by Fortnite or if it's just really good for their algorithm.
More than likely, they did the research and said we can't afford not to play this game.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Well, they have their live stream gameplays at least a couple nights a week, but like they'll have whatever, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of dancing or something involved.
Yes.
In Fortnite. They'll have them teaching how to do some dances from the game, or just like I said, every other video of theirs is Fortnite related. So like I said, they're either getting paid by Fortnite or they just know that it's really good for their channel.
I'm going to guess is they just realized that if we just say Fortnite,
yeah,
like we just need to put a Fortnite character in our thumbnail. It'll probably break.
What do you think about the lawsuit against Fortnite from
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds?
Yes.
I think that's a weak move by PlayerUnknown's part, because if that's the case, Call of Duty would sue Battlefield for making a World War II shooter. Street Fighter would sue Mortal Kombat for making a fighting game, and it would just create a chain of events that it would be. If that was the case, it would be just lawsuits everywhere. Because you can't just make an idea like that and not expect someone else to come up with it.
Right.
You just sour that they just took your idea and their idea just became popular, and their version of it became popular, while yours has its audience.
So, what would you say was the biggest reveal at E3?
The biggest reveal?
Yeah.
That is a good question. Could that be subjective to what you enjoy?
In your opinion, in your honest opinion, what was the big jaw-dropping moment?
The answer is going to shock you.
Really?
When I watched the Microsoft press conference, there were two, in fact, for games that you wouldn't expect. The two games that you would think that other people would be like, that's cool that they announced that, but not me. But I'm an old school gamer. Like I've said this 1,000 times on various episodes of various shows. I like the old school aesthetic stuff. So there was two things they announced at E3 that made me excited. One, they announced Cuphead DLC.
Oh, yeah, you love Cuphead.
I've never played Cuphead, but the fact that it's basically like Gunstar Heroes makes me happy.
Yeah. So
I want to play that game. And the second thing they announced that made me extra happy, we're getting a new Battletoads game.
Battletoads? Okay.
Yo, because I was sitting there watching the trailer, I'm like, this comic book aesthetic thing is kind of cool. What game is coming up? And they kept announcing the three of you has been gone for a while and all this. And I said, wait, what game is this? And then the hover bike crashed into that pink rock. I'm like, it's Battletoads! So we're getting a brand new Battletoads game in 2019, only for Xbox One. I'm like, everybody's like, Halo Infinite is coming to Xbox One. This is coming to Xbox One. I gotta have an Xbox One. I gotta have an Xbox One. Those games is cool, but the fact that Cuphead and Battletoads is only available on Xbox One is making me wanting to buy an Xbox One.
Man.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm willing to drop $300 for basically $40 worth of video game.
Well, I said I was going to get a PlayStation 4 just to play the new God of War, and definitely in time for The Last of Us 2.
Well, see, those are actual big budget games that warrant a purchase like that.
Well, yeah, you just want to play an arcade.
I just want to basically play 2 downloadable arcade games.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that's the difference. That's the difference between us, man.
Yeah.
I don't really get excited for like the. I've played first-person shooters and whatnot, but when something is announced that fits my old school sensibilities, I get excited. Like Bloodstain's coming out soon. Which is basically Symphony of the Night 2, Castlevania. I'm there for that. Because
you watch the Castlevania
Netflix show? No.
Netflix show?
I want to, but I haven't.
I heard it's really good.
Oh, yeah, it's actually one of the few video game properties that actually do justice.
Really? Huh. So, I'm trying to think of... There's another video game movie that's supposed to come out. Well, Uncharted, obviously, but I don't know if that's ever gone into production. With Tom Holland.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and I don't know how I feel about Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Because I like the Uncharted games. I think I have all of them. I don't know. I have most
you have the first 3?
Yeah, first 3.
Well, you got to get a PS4.
Yeah, see.
Because there's 2 more.
2 more on the PS4.
There's a Thief's End, and then there's a spin-off one they made not that long ago that was also really good.
Huh. Yeah, well, I think that's like the closest to an Indiana, well, Tomb Raider was pretty close to Tomb Raider was close to an Indiana Jones movie. Mm-hmm. But I think Uncharted will probably be a lot closer. But
Uncharted is truly like you could put the fedora on him in a whip and it'd be the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this would be an appropriate time to start talking about TV, but we have reached the summertime, which is pretty much when all of the TV shows I like
go away.
This would be
summer TV. I don't feel so good.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be the time when Netflix should be releasing some shows, and they don't have anything as far as like I know that I would watch. I'm waiting. I haven't watched the new Arrested Development, but I also didn't watch the last season of Arrested Development either, since it's been on Netflix. Because I like the original show, and I guess I always said I was going to review the second season of 13 Reasons Why on the Movie Champ show, but I keep forgetting to put it on there. I guess I can do it now and just give a very brief review of it and say that the second season kind of sucked. I liked the first season. I thought that they did a lot of brave things on that first season, things that they knew they were going to get backlash for, and they said it needs to be told for this story, and they did what they needed to do for that first. Because I read the book way back in the day when it came out, and the first season was great, and the second season they wimped out. They did have one scene that's very shocking towards the end of it that I was very surprised about, but they still didn't go full bore in this season. I don't know. This season was weak, and it was mostly courtroom stuff and a lot of flashbacks, and I hate flashbacks in movies. I don't know why. Or TV shows too, I guess. So yeah, the second season was very disappointing. If I were to rate the second season of 13 Reasons Why, I'd probably give this season a 6 out of 10. First season I would have given probably an 8.5 out of 10. So it wasn't even that the first season was all that great either, but it was definitely better than this season. But Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV to begin with, but I didn't realize how much TV I watched until summer happened, and
Yeah.
none of the shows I had been watching are
On is
on
like,
anymore.
oh, so this is how much TV I watch.
Yeah,
Oh, let me go watch it. No, that's gone. I watched it. No, that's gone. I've
yeah.
already binge watched all that.
And then to make matters worse, all the shows that I was watching like were on Fox, like the Mick and stuff like that, and even Roseanne, shows that I watched, and they're all canceled now. So I was like, goodness. So now I don't even have the shows that I was watching. They're not gonna come back. Like especially the Mick, they left on a cliffhanger that we're never gonna get resolved.
Don't you love it when they do that?
Yeah.
Like, come back for season 3. Wait, we're not getting a season 3?
Nope. Oh man, yeah, that was. There was a couple different shows. I can't remember what all that I was watching before that all got canceled.
I guess you know when you go to look for them and they're gone.
Yeah.
oh, this is fall. They're back. No, what's this? No. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'll go read.
That's gonna happen.
Huh?
So that's gonna happen for sure. Yeah, I'll just go to the movies.
Yeah, it's just nothing on TV. Might as well go see a movie.
So you hear, you have you been following the news about the movie pass?
Oh yeah,
they keep saying, or how they're swearing like within the next week or two, we're not gonna have movie pass is gonna be gone.
Yeah,
and I would be so mad.
Oh yeah, the direction of the channel would just go different immediately.
Yeah. Well, the good part is though, even though I'd still be spending more a month, and I'll probably end up noticing it a little bit more, but there's a movie theater out here where we are, the Cinema Cafe. Their tickets, if you can go during the week, I mean, even on a new release day, I've never paid more than $6 for a ticket there. And if you go on certain days of the week, you can get them for $4.50. So I won't mind paying that for a ticket. I'm not going to go ham and go out to AMC and pay $12 for a ticket.
Oh no.
That's when I'd say
That's where
I'd be more worried for this channel.
Yeah.
But AMC does get the more movies.
More movies with better picture and sound.
Yes. That was the other thing. I didn't want to mention it during my review, but for Hereditary, you know how in these dine-in theaters they keep the lights down. They'll adjust the lights just a little bit to turn the lights on for
so you eat.
Well, for when them to bring in the food, they don't usually turn them completely on whenever, or not completely. They're never completely on, but you know they don't turn it up to where it's really bad for you to eat. But it's for you to sign your bill, or for them to bring in food. They'll keep the lights down low. The whole movie, they kept the lights pretty much at a medium. So that may have affected my experience a little bit
because you weren't fully absorbed. Because you're like, I can barely see the screen because the lights are still on.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad that I couldn't see the screen. So that's why I didn't want to fully contribute that as a factor. But it was enough for me to say, "Hey, how come the lights are still on?"
Mm-hmm. Hey, bro, can you turn those down a bit?
Yeah, because I mean, in that theater, they never go. They don't have enough light for them to fully light that room, unless I guess maybe I don't know. I've never seen them fully light the room, but the lights were pretty much at a medium enough for you to see your bill if they put it in front of you. So
I guess since with it being an R-rated movie with an older crowd, they might.
Oh no! I got sent to that theater again to go see. As I watched, what did I see first? I saw Hereditary, and then the next day, what did I see? Hotel Artemis.
Well, again,
they sent me to that, and the Hotel Artemis lights were still that way, in that same exact theater.
Well, you gotta. They're both R-rated movies, so not too many kids are gonna be in there. Kids with good eyesight.
What's the point?
Older people have trouble seeing things in the dark.
Oh, and that's not it. I think they're having they always have technical difficulties there. I think their light is messed up.
I think their theater's old.
Yeah, well, it's probably all because it used to be a Regal. It's the oldest theater in Hampton, or the oldest building, and they really didn't do much to change it out.
No, they just kind of like added some posters to the front and put a Cinema Cafe sign on it.
Yeah, so I think their lights are messed up in there because they definitely have a problem with the sound in that theater. I even know which numbers they are. Number 1, light problems. Number 7, sound problems. So
He goes to that theater a lot, if you haven't guessed.
Like I said, it's the best food for your money in Hampton.
Yeah, he really likes their chicken tenders.
Yes, their chicken tenders and fries. So much so that even this last time the waitress said, "You getting your
usual?" He has a usual at a movie theater.
Yeah. But the problem is, like the last. Oh no, I'm not gonna talk about that. Never mind. I don't want to get her in trouble in case. I don't think nobody's watching. Either way, every time I have that her as a waitress, my bill is usually cheaper. I was like, what is she doing? Give me an employee discount or something? She's charging me. The last time I was there, she charged me for my tea as a refill. She didn't charge it as
a tea.
As a tea.
I guess there's
free refills on tea. So she put on the bill as refill tea instead of adding the initial tea, which actually has money attached to it.
Hey, do what you do.
So I don't know. That was like the second time. I was like, my goodness, how has she not lost her job yet? If this is how she thinks they're supposed to charge the tea. So I don't know. That was weird. But.
If you come back and she's gone, you know why. And also know
I don't even know her name. That's the one bad part. Everybody there knows me, but I don't know anybody's name.
You're like, hey, it's Walker, and it's like, hey, it's you.
I don't know anybody's name. Well, one of them even knew my dad. They're like, hey, your dad's John Cheatham, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know you.
And then you can sit in the theater. How does he know that? trying to piece together everything.
Yeah, my dad was popular back in the day. He was musician and stuff, or not a musician. He was a singer. He didn't play any instruments. And oh man, but yeah, that was yeah. I don't know why I do that. I don't bother to learn anybody's names. Like they can recognize me all they want, but I don't know. I don't like to get that chummy with people that I don't have any reason to get chummy with.
you offer nothing for me, but
like I will entertain you with a conversation, I guess.
That about it. That about it.
Oh man. Oh, this is also funny. You see on the TV. About Pete Davidson being engaged to Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
that was funny. They've only been dating
not even a month.
Not even a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. If we were to place bets on that, if that's actually gonna pull through to an actual marriage, I'm not a betting person, but I wouldn't put money on that actually happening.
That's the horse that's not coming to pasture.
Yeah, two people that are in need of a good publicity stunt.
Oh yes, and this is it.
Yep. Oh boy. Well, anyways, that's I think that's a good enough episode.
Yeah,
what is that?
38 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good length.
That's a good little length right there. Yeah, we're done here.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and throw our names back up here. Did I hit the right one?
No, you didn't.
No.
There we are.
I'm Walker Cheatham. You can find me at Walker Cheatham on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
EJ Flemming at Geek Champs EJ.
All right, guys, and we will see you guys next time here at the Champs. Make sure you watch our most recent episode of the Movie Champs show. Also, check out our most recent movie review, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and on this video. And guys, we will see you next time.
Peace.